Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing something a little different. I'm not unboxing anything or showing you any new products. What I've got here is something that I made myself, and I just want to throw the idea out to anybody that cares to use it. I was trying to come up with a cheap, easy to carry emergency fire starter. And I thought it through, thought it over repeatedly, and what made me start to think of it is I carry a ZIPPO with me almost all the time. All the time. The problem with a ZIPPO, using it for a emergency fire starter, is that unless you're a smoker or whatever, you have to keep these filled. About every 7 to 10 days you have to refill it, period. No matter what you do, you can tape them up. I've seen a lot of different hacks where you tape them up, they're supposed to last a lot longer. Well, they really don't. And I wanted to come up with a simple fire lighter based on this type of lighter. It's a oil lighter. I'm sure everyone has seen one. And what I came up with was this. And what this is, and I was also trying to do this as cheaply as I can and as minimalistic as I possibly could. So what this is, I paid $2 for this, and it's a cheap ZIPPO style knockoff. Like I said, I paid $2 for it, and here's what I've done. What I did was I took the guts out of it, everything but the flint and striker wheel. I did replace the cheap ferrocerium flint stick in it with a ZIPPO stick, or rod, whatever, flint. They seem to strike a lot better fire. But anyway, what I did was I took the insides out, just like that. The cotton, everything came out, replaced the wick, and what I am using that space for is to hold a little bit of char cloth. Now, a lot of guys, they'll get a flint and steel striker or one of those big ferrocerium rods, or any one of 1,000 different devices that are fantastic. I've got no problem with them. I wanted something really small. You end up with this and your flint and steel and a tinder box and etc. I ride a motorcycle. I do most of my traveling on a motorcycle, so space is at a premium, so I came up with this for that. I can throw everything in here, throw it in my saddlebag, forget about it. If I need to make a fire in an emergency, I've got this. I just pull it apart, and all you have to do is take off a little bit of the char cloth, fold it up a little bit, and stick it in the chimney. By the way, I'm inside. I'm not going to build a fire, so I just want to show you the basics. Give it 2 or 3 strikes and it usually works. Yep, and I've got a spark. Yeah, nope. Alright, I'm sorry, I didn't have it folded right. Anyway, you fold it up a little bit, put it in there where the spark will hit it, and usually within just a couple of strikes you have an ember. Actually, it had one long before I pulled it out because there's several spots. Anyway, you have the ember. You know what? Yeah, why not? Got a little bit of trash here. I've built fires in the house since I was a kid. You all know probably know how to use char cloth if you're watching this. So, and you got a fire. So, before I set off the smoke detector, I'll put that out real quick. Well, it's out enough. So anyway, that's a very simple $2. That's all it cost me. It was $2 and 2 minutes work. I already had the char cloth made, stuck it in a piece of foil. You get multiple fires off of that little bit of char cloth. Stuck it in there. Put the lighter together. Stick it in a saddlebag, stick it in your pocket, throw it in your glove box, throw it in your backpack, whatever, and you've got a good fire starter. And also another thing about doing it this way is you've got the chimney and it's holding the char cloth right there. You get a directed spark right onto it. You don't have to screw around with shooting sparks everywhere and hoping that it hits the tinder. It's directed right onto the char cloth. So anyway, there it is. It came in this little metal case. And I decided to expand on that. And what I did from there was I took this insert out, cut it out, moved it off to the side, and glued it down. And then I had room to put about 1.5 feet of fire cord. So I got about 1.5 feet of fire cord, which has the little red fire wick in it. I was also able to put several little tinder, these. They're Kuglins, I think that's how it's pronounced, tinder. And they're kind of a wax tinder. And what I did was I just made a little piece like that. Wrapped it in foil, folded it up, sealed it. I put several of those in there. And then I took the lighter, stuck it in the box. It's like this. Wrapped it in a couple of feet of tape, just to keep the whole thing nicely sealed. Wrapped it in a couple of feet of tape. Tape is always useful. Yeah, there's close to 2 feet of tape there. A nice little emergency fire kit. Inside of the lighter there's about 2 or 3 feet of char cloth that I made from denim. Denim works a lot better than just plain cotton cloth. It's a little bit heavier, holds up a little better. Anyway, there's about 2 or 3 feet, at least 2 or 3 feet of denim char cloth in there. 4 of these tinder, little tinder wicks, whatever you want to call them, and maybe 1.5 feet of fire cord or fire fuse. I've heard it called a few different things, and it all fits in there very neatly. Again, something you can throw in your backpack, throw in your pocket, whatever, throw it in your glove box. For me, this is going to get wrapped back up and it's going to get stuck in the tool roll on my bike, where I don't have to worry about it unless I'm in an emergency where I need to start a fire. So there you have it, $2, and you've got an emergency fire starter, and it beats having to carry a bunch of extra crap with you. Hey, one other thing I forgot to mention about this little box, even with all the stuff in it, I've got quite a bit of space left in there. That's a spot where you could pack tinder, you know, something besides the fire lighters and stuff. I've got a little wad of paper. If you've watched my unboxing videos, you know where this paper came from. Just cut it up, roll it up. There's probably 4 or 5 feet of paper there. It'll go right inside the box, like that, right on top of everything else. And yeah, anyway, just one last little bit. So hey, thanks for watching.